Check this out, I've got all of my agents running in one chat room. And yes, these are models from different providers, from Claude, OpenAI, Kimi, and even open source models. And these agents can all work together to solve any task I throw at them. It's like having my own agent team with specialized agents all in one place. And what's really cool is I can even access my team from my mobile device. This is Buzz. It's an open source project that you can use for free right now. It looks and behaves exactly like Slack. Now, if you don't know Slack, it's simply a chat room where you can invite members, create very specific groups or channels, and share conversations. But what makes Buzz different to Slack is that agents are not sort of bolted on like they are in Slack, but they are first-class members within Buzz. And the really cool thing is you can self-host Buzz, which I will show you how to do in this video. In fact, in this video, I'll show you how you can securely set up Buzz, and I'll show you features that no one else seems to talk about. You can connect your mobile device to Buzz. You can also install agent skills and MCP servers. And as I mentioned, you can hook up open source models as well. For example, this project management agent is actually running a local model using LM Studio on my own machine. This means I'm not paying for inference and it's completely free to use. So enough talk, let's dive in. Alright then, to get started with Buzz, simply go to this GitHub repository, which I'll link to in the description of this video. Simply look for this Getting Started section, click on Latest Releases, and then from this list, just download the file for your operating system. Since I'm using Windows, I'll download the .exe file. Then I'll simply run that file. Let's click on Next. Next, and I'll click on Finish, and this should start Buzz. Right, so this screen looks really cool. Now the first thing we have to do is create our new identity key. This is a unique key for your user, so you definitely just want to copy this key and save it in a secure place. Then let's click on Next. And the really cool thing about Buzz is it's actually going to piggyback on top of your existing coding agents like Claude Code and Codex. So for me, it's showing that Claude Code is ready and Codex is ready. You might see an install button instead. Simply click on install and that will sort you out. Then let's click on Next. Now for the default harness, we can select between Claude Code and Codex. I'll just select Claude Code. And then for the model, I'll select Opus as my default model. For you, this might be something else. If you're using OpenAI, you could select one of the GPT models. Now we will be asked to either create or join a community. Now you can use their cloud infrastructure to host your community, but you know what? I'm going to show you a secure way to do this instead. But if you just wanted to use their service, what you can do is click on Create a Community, and you will be asked to sign into their cloud platform. So you can simply sign up or create an account. But just be aware you are going through their infrastructure, so they might be monitoring your messages. Who knows what they'll be doing with your data. Personally, I prefer to self-host my own instance so that everything is secure. So what I'm going to do is just close Buzz for a second. And what I'm going to do now is self-host Buzz on my own VPS. Now I've partnered with Hostinger for this video in order to give you guys an additional 10% off. This is also the easiest way, in my opinion, to deploy and self-host Buzz. So simply go to this page, which I'll link to in the description. Then for the plan, you can go with any plan like KVM1, and then from here select the plan. I'll go with KVM2. Then select your period. This could be 1 month, 12 months, or 24 months. Then click on Have a Coupon Code and enter the code Leon Buzz. And this will give you an additional 10% off. And all you have to do is continue with the checkout process. Now, while our server is being created, I do want to mention that you do need at least Claude Code or OpenAI Codex set up on your machine. Now, I didn't want to assume that you already have these installed, so I am going to link to these pages in the description of this video. This page will take you through the process of setting up Claude Code. I also have several videos on my channel going through the setup process. I'll also link to this page showing you how to install OpenAI Codex. These usually just involve running a very simple command on your machine. You do not have to have both, you just need either Claude Code or Codex in order for this all to work. If you get stuck at any point, I've got a completely free community that you can join with over 900 members. And I also have classrooms that show you how to work with Claude Code and Codex. These are completely free. Right, back in Hostinger, we can't really do anything from this dashboard. If we click on open, you're just going to get all of this gibberish. What we are interested in is this origin value over here. So you can just actually do a search for origin and then copy this value over here. So everything in these double quotes. Then back in Buzz, let's go to join a community and then paste in that link. Let's click on next, and that's it. Let's set up our account. So I'll just upload this image and I'll just give myself a username. And now we get the screen. Meet your starter team. Fizz, Honey, and Bumble. Right, take me to Buzz, and there we go. Now we can see our 3 team members down here, and let's actually just send a message like, hey. Alright, Fizz just responded saying, hi Leon, I'm Fizz, welcome to Buzz. This is your private home base, and we're here to help you get orientated or work through something you're building. And it also tagged Honey and Bumble to introduce themselves. And just like Slack, if you're familiar with that, we can click on this button over here, and this will open up this thread over here. So this is where we can view the entire conversation. Now, if you ever wanted to chat to any specific member, what we can do is simply tag them, and let's say, Honey, tell me more about yourself. This will show you that this specific user actually reacted, and they are busy responding. And if we click on that actual username, we can see the individual conversation with Honey. We can also add and manage our agents. All we have to do is go to agents over here. Here we can see Fizz, Honey, and Bumble. If we click on any of these agents, we can click on edit. Here we can change the agent's name and system prompt. We can use the system prompt to set the rules, the knowledge, and the persona of the agent. What we can also do is click on customize for this agent, and now we can change the agent's harness. Let's say we didn't want to use Claude Code, but a different provider. And here we've got tons of different options. Of course, we've got Claude Code and Codex, but the system will also detect any other harnesses that we might have, like Hermes Agent, Kimi Code, Open Code, Goose, which is kind of Buzz's own platform, Cursor, Grok, Oh My Pi, OpenClaw, and we can even add a custom harness. Let's change this one to Codex. And let's also set the model to GPT 5.6 Soul. And let's save these changes. We will need to restart Buzz for these changes to take effect. We can also add new agents simply by clicking on Create Agent. Let's give this one a name. I'll just call this one Keith, and let's give it a personality. Your name is Keith. You are a project manager for a software development team. Right then, for the harness, let's keep this interesting. I'm actually going to change this to Kimi Code, and for the model, I'll just switch it to Kimi K3. Cool, let's create this agent, and of course, I'm just going to assign an avatar as well, like the smiling emoji over here. And you know what, just to keep things interesting, let's add one more agent, and let's call this one Walter, and let's say, your name is Walter, you're a seasoned software engineer. Then for the emoji, let's go with this one over here. And for the harness, let's go with Claude Code, and I'll select Opus as the model. Let's create this agent, and that's it. By the way, if you want to use open source models, that is really easy as well. What you can do is install Open Code on your machine, and then you can use Open Code to run models through Ollama or LM Studio. I've actually got a dedicated video showing you how you can use Open Code with open source models, so I'll link to that video in the description as well. Once you've set up Open Code, what you can do is create a new agent. Let's call this one something like Luna. Your name is Luna. Your role is to create detailed reports, just as an example. Under Customize, what we can do now is select Open Code, and then from the model, this will pull in all the models that we've made available to Open Code. So I can see my Ollama models, as well as my models in LM Studio. So I'll just select this one over here. And that's it. Now we've really got a mix of different models, from Claude, OpenAI, Kimi, and even open source models. So let's get Fizz to do all of the hard work. I'm going to tag Fizz, and let's say, hey Fizz, please create a new channel for my software development team. And down here we can see that Fizz is working. If we wanted to see more details as to what Fizz is up to, we can click on View Activity, and here we can see all Fizz's outputs. Right, cool. So Fizz is saying that both Walter and Keith have software development roles, so it's going to add those to the software development group as well. So if I just jump over to the newly created software dev channel, we can have a look at its members, and indeed everyone with some kind of software development role have been included in this channel. Now I am going to show you how to add agent skills in MCP servers as well, but one really cool feature that's been recently added to Buzz is the ability to control your Buzz teams using your mobile phone. So what you can do is simply go to Mobile and click on Start Pairing. Now you do have to install the Buzz app on your device and then simply scan the QR code. And I will just ask you to confirm the numbers, which I'll do. And now that our device has been paired, I can see all of the channels, all of the members on my mobile phone. If you've ever worked with AI agents and assistants before, you know the true power comes from skills and MCP tools. Skills and MCP servers give additional capabilities to your agents, like connecting them to third-party systems. For example, giving them access to your email inbox or calendar, or the ability to generate images, etc. And this is something I haven't seen anyone show in Buzz yet. And it's actually really simple. If I open up Claude in my PowerShell, and if I run the skills command, all of the skills that's accessible by Claude right now will be accessible by Buzz. The same thing goes for MCP servers. If I run /MCP, all of the connected MCP servers over here will be available to Buzz as well. That is because Buzz is kind of a harness or a wrapper around your Claude Code and Codex CLI tools. So the solution is really that simple. You can simply install skills or MCP servers using your Claude Code CLI or Codex CLI tools. Just be sure to install all of those at user or global level, and your Buzz agents will have access to those tools. Let me show you an example. In Claude Code, I've already connected Gmail and a vidIQ tool. If I go back to Buzz, I'll just go back to this team over here. Let's do this. At Fizz, what skills and MCP tools do you have access to? Now keep in mind Fizz is actually using Codex behind the scenes, so the list of skills and MCP servers might be different to what I have in Claude Code. So let's actually run it against a Claude Code model as well, like Honey. Let's go back to welcome. At Honey, what skills and MCP servers do you have access to? Let's send this. Right, we've got a reply from Fizz. And check this out. There's actually a lot of stuff going on here. So Buzz itself assigned tools to these agents, which definitely makes sense. It also has access to all of the software engineering things that you would expect, like all of these GitHub tools. We've got browser and desktop automation. So everything that's typically available in Codex, you can find over here as well. Let's have a look at Honey, which is using Claude behind the scenes. And check this out. As I showed you in the terminal, because this is using Claude, it's got access to my Google Drive, Gmail, vidIQ, and Telegram, along with a bunch of skills that I've assigned to Claude Code already. So if you want to install your own skills or MCP servers, it's really easy. You can go to a skills repository like skills.sh, search for a skill that you want, like the Grill Me skill or Agent Browser or Start an App, whatever you want. For instance, we can go to the Start an App skill, which is a skill I created for starting new apps using a proper tech stack. All you really have to do is copy this command, and then we can ask our agent to install this for us. So I'll just call Fizz. Let's say, please install this skill at global level. Then we can paste in the URL to that skill, and our agent will now go ahead and install the skill on our machine. And the next time we restart Buzz, the agents will have access to this skill. The same thing goes for MCP servers. If there's an MCP server that you would like to install, simply grab the URL and just ask your agent to install it. And when you restart Buzz, your agents will have access to that tool. Keep in mind, if the underlying agent is using something like Codex, it will install the skill or MCP for Codex only. It will not affect something like Claude. So if you want to install the skill for Claude agents, just ask one of the agents powered by Claude to install the skill. Alright, cool. So what I'm going to do now is go to the software development team, and let's say something like, alright, I want you guys to start a new app. This should be really simple. It's basically a slide deck introducing all of the team members in this community. I want to know who they are, what their roles are, and what their skills and capabilities are. And let's send this. And in fact, this is a mistake that I make quite a lot. We shouldn't just send a message into the ether like that. Let's tag one of our agents like Fizz. And Fizz really is our project management agent. So I'm just going to send all messages to Fizz. And Fizz is responsible for making sure all this work gets done. Right, so Fizz is doing the right thing. It's asking clarifying questions. It's saying that in this specific channel, we only have 4 members, but in the wider Buzz workspace, there are a lot more. Let's include everyone. Well, so I'm not going to show everything in detail, but I just wanted to point out that Fizz is really delegating tasks. In this case, it's actually asking Keith to go and find out what one of his agent's capabilities are, and this is an agent that's not available in this specific channel. So I really like how Fizz is kind of acting as the coordinator or orchestrator behind all of this. I am going to skip ahead to when this app is ready. Our agent is making excellent progress. Now, before I show you these slides, I do want to ask you a favor. If you're enjoying this video, then please hit the subscribe button. It helps my channel and you will be notified when I release my next video. And here we go. So first just share this URL. And if we have a look at it, we now have the slide deck showing all of our different agents. This even includes all of these icons as well, the little avatar logos. Let's click on Meet the Team. So it shows myself, I'm also a member after all, and I am the community lead. We've got Bumble, who does research and evidence. We've got Fizz, we've got Honey, Keith, Luna, Walter, and our entire team. How awesome is that? So this team can be useful for tons of different things, from research to software development. One thing I noticed though is that Fizz did all of the work. Ideally, I would have liked Fizz to just hand the development tasks over to our software developer, but what you could do instead is just create a completely new agent and assign some kind of system prompt to the agent telling it to never do its own work, but to delegate tasks to other agents only. And that will ensure that this agent will use the available team members instead of doing everything itself. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, hit the like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.